This is He News. I Am Hugh Edwards' Latino representation in Hollywood is once again under scrutiny as creators and performers raise concerns that recent progress may be reversing rather than advancing. The conversation intensified following a casting controversy surrounding the upcoming film Deep Cuts. A non-Latina actress was originally cast as a Mexican character, sparking backlash online and within the industry. While the project itself was not directly named, the situation prompted broader discussions about who gets access to limited roles and how those decisions reflect systemic patterns in entertainment. In response, Gloria Calderón Kellett, the Emmy-winning creator of One Day at a Time, published an op-ed in Deadline arguing that the issue extends far beyond a single casting decision. According to Calderón Kellett, the real problem is scarcity. She writes that when opportunities for Latino actors are limited, every role becomes symbolically significant. Casting choices are no longer isolated decisions, but representations of an entire community's visibility, or lack thereof, in Hollywood. The actress involved in the controversy later withdrew from the project, stating she was unaware the character had been written as Latina. Calderón Kellett publicly acknowledged that decision, calling it an example of listening and accountability. However, she emphasized that individual actions do not address the larger structural imbalance. More than 100 Latino actors, writers, and creators signed an open letter following the incident. Organized with the help of actress Xochitl Gomez, the letter thanked the actress for stepping aside and urged Hollywood to create more inclusive casting practices, not only in front of the camera, but behind it as well. The letter called for Latino creatives to be considered for a wider range of roles, including non-stereotypical leads, and for greater access to writing rooms, directing positions, and executive decision-making roles. Calderón Kellett's op-ed also draws from her personal experience in the industry. She recalls arriving in Hollywood in the late 1990s and repeatedly being offered auditions that centered on crime or marginal roles. She writes that auditions are not neutral, but instruct actors on how the industry perceives them. One of her earliest memories of representation came when she saw her last name appear on television for the first time, only to realize the character was portrayed as a drug dealer. She describes the moment as both validating and deeply discouraging. Unable to find meaningful opportunities within those boundaries, Calderón Kellett turned to writing. That path eventually led to One Day at a Time, which premiered in 2017 and focused on a Cuban-American family. The series was widely praised for its storytelling and representation, and it became part of a wave of Latino-led shows that briefly expanded visibility in mainstream television. According to Calderón Kellett, many of those shows have since been cancelled, often prematurely. She argues that recent industry conversations have shifted, with executives describing Latino-centered projects as too political, or suggesting inclusion be limited to one or two characters rather than entire families or communities. Supporting her argument, Calderón Kellett cites a study from the USC Norman Lear Center, which found that while Latinos make up roughly 1 in 5 Americans, they account for only about 6% of characters in broadcast television. She warns that if Hollywood responds to casting controversies by avoiding Latino characters altogether, representation will continue to shrink. Instead, she calls on the industry to increase opportunity, investment, and storytelling, rather than retreat from it. In her closing remarks, Calderón Kellett frames her message not as a condemnation, but as an invitation. She describes the piece as a call-in, urging Hollywood to be honest about long-standing patterns and the emotional impact of repeatedly postponed inclusion. As conversations about diversity and representation continue, this moment highlights a broader question facing the entertainment industry, whether progress will be sustained or quietly undone.